So two-up betting is one of the most profitable strategies within match betting because you can get paid out before the game even finishes. But something that people do get a little confused with is, unlike most normal match betting strategies, it's not risk-free. You're not making money every time. You're typically taking very small losses and waiting for a much bigger win, which will really boost your profits. So in this video, I'm going to go over what actually is two-up betting, what the strategy involves. I'm going to go through an example to hopefully get you using our two-up matcher and get you profiting as soon as possible. So what actually is two-up betting? Well, it's really simple to understand. It's simply a promotion that most bookies run where when you back a team, if that team goes 2 goals up at any point, so 2-0, 3-1, they'll immediately pay out your full return. And then, however, if your team decides to bottle that lead, they draw or lose, you'll still get your full payout. So where does match betting come into all of this? Where do we start to get our edge and start to profit from this two-up strategy? Well, it's really simple to understand. So you're going to place a back bet on a bookie using your two-up promotion. You're then going to head over to a betting exchange like Smarkets and place a lay bet against this team. So now if your team goes, say, 2-0 up or 3-1 up, so they go 2 goals in front, you'll immediately be paid out on your bookie. So far, you would still be set up to lose on the betting exchange. So these two bets would simply cancel each other out. However, every now and then your team will bottle that 2-0 lead or that 2 goals lead and you'll win on the exchange as well. So now you would have won both bets and you would have started to make significant profits. So this is just a numbers game because you're only going to win one of these every now and then. So all the other bets that you lose, and the main strategy that comes down to this is you want to ensure that you're not really losing any money at all. So you only really want to be losing, say if you have £100 stake, only say £1 or 2. Because then once you do win, and when you win, say £100, £200 profit, it will cancel out all of the other losses that you've made and put you into some significant profits. Now, how you do this is by having very, very close back and lay odds. So this is where the two-up matcher comes into place. So I'm going to go through an example now to show you how you use the two-up matcher and how you turn this strategy into quite significant profit over time. Okay, so let's head over to AI Profits two-up matcher so we can go through an example. Now, the first thing that I want you to take note of is, again, like I said, the best thing when it comes to this two-up strategy is you need to ensure that your back odds and your lay odds are as close together as possible. So looking at this example, I'd only recommend placing two-up bets that are above 97%. So as you can see here, this is 97.3%. Now, we're getting towards the end of the season, so there's not too many games available, but you'll regularly see games that are sort of 97, 98, or even 99%, meaning for those losses, because you will make a lot of losses, but those wins will put you in significant profit. For those losses, you'll only make sort of £1 or 2's loss. But this will make more sense as we go along. So that's the first thing to note. Now, the next thing to note, and people might disagree with me because lots of people have their strategies when it comes to two-up betting, is I'd recommend sticking between odds of sort of 1.3 to 2. So I typically go for favourites. You can go for massive underdogs, but it's very unlikely that they go 2 goals up. So with that in mind, let's head into this Arsenal versus Fulham example. So the first thing that I want to show you is how to actually place your bets, and then after that I'll get into what this actually means. So again, I'm going to tweak the stake from £10 to £100. So this is how you'll make significant profits. If you keep it at £10, it will be a long time before you start seeing decent profits. So first we're going to want to place our £100 stake on Coral. So we're going to head over to Coral, find the two-up game, so it is different to the normal game. So as you can see here, this is the 90 minutes. You want to head to their two-up market, find Arsenal, and then you're going to place a £100 stake on Arsenal. Sorry, that's 1,000, so £100 stake on Arsenal. Now we're going to go back to the two-up matcher, and we're going to find what our lay stake will be against Arsenal. So as you can see here, you're going to copy this £97.30. We're then going to head over to Matchbook. We're going to find Arsenal, so we're going to lay Arsenal to win. We're then going to paste in our stake and place that bet. So now let's have a look at what that actually means. So we placed a £100 bet on the two-up market on Arsenal to win, and then with a lay stake of £97, we placed a lay bet against Arsenal to win on Matchbook. And this would have required a liability of £46.70. So in your Matchbook account, you would have needed close to £50. So altogether, we would have technically spent £100, add the £46, so £146.70. pence. Quickly go through the different scenarios. So scenario 1 is, imagine Arsenal went 2 goals up, so Coral immediately paid you out on the back bet side, but then Arsenal ended up winning the game. So they didn't end up drawing or losing, they ended up winning the game, meaning you would have won your back bet, but you would have lost your lay bet. So that's what it says here. If the back bet wins, you would have made £44 from Coral, but you would have lost £46.70. So your liability here on Matchbook. So overall, you would have lost that £2.70. So scenario 2 is basically the same thing. However, imagine Arsenal don't go 2 goals up, so you don't get that immediate payout, but Arsenal do end up winning the game by, say, a margin of 1. So imagine they win 1-0. You'd get paid out on Coral, so you'd win your back bet here, so you'd make £44. However, you'd lose your lay bet, so that bet on Matchbook, so you'd lose £46.70, and overall would have lost £2.70. Now, scenario 3 is if you win your lay bet. So imagine Arsenal never go 2 goals up at any point and Fulham end up winning or drawing the game. So that means you'd win your lay bet. So you would have lost £100 from your £100 bet on Coral, and you would have won your lay bet on Matchbook, so at £97.30, but overall you would have lost £2.70. Now for the final scenario, and this is the scenario that we're banking on, this is the scenario that we want, is imagine Arsenal go 2 goals up. So imagine they go 2-0 up and then they end up losing the game. This is where we're going to make our profit. Or even if they draw the game, this is where we're going to make our profit. So imagine Arsenal go 2 goals up. We would have been paid out in Coral. So if Arsenal go 2 goals up, it's the same as our back bet winning. So we would have made £44, but we'd be on track to lose this lay bet. Now, if Fulham come back to make it, say, 2-2 or just a draw, or Fulham win the game, then we also will win our lay bet. So we would have already won our back bet, so we would have made £44 profit. But now, because the game ended in a draw or a loss, we're also going to win our lay bet. So we're also going to make this profit here. So overall, instead of losing this £2.70, we would make around £144. So these two scenarios combined together. Now, this is what makes this strategy so profitable, because even if you lose 20 of these bets in a row, so you lose 20 of these bets, each time you lose, say, £2.50, over 20 bets, you would have lost £50. But as soon as you win one of these bets, you're up £140 profit. So overall, you would have made £90 profit. So now you see what I mean by this is just a numbers game. This is just ensuring your qualifying loss or your potential loss is as low as possible, so that when you do make profit, you're going to be in substantial profit no matter how many times you lost before. And this is on a 97% retention rate. When there's more games, this will typically be towards sort of 98 or even 99%, which is what I'd recommend. So hopefully now you'll be able to understand just how profitable the 2-up matched betting strategy can be, and how some of our users are making hundreds or even some making thousands of pounds in profit per month just from this strategy alone. However, I do get that it can be a little bit confusing. So if you do have any questions, please head over to our website and join our community, because you can speak to some of our users that are actually doing this and might have more insight than me. But you can also drop your questions in the comments below and I'll try and get round to all of them.